Thank you very much for the invitation to speak today, Marco. My name is Philipp. I'm the CEO and co-founder of CHRONEXT. What is CHRONEXT? CHRONEXT, as we like to put it, is the premier luxury watch destination and the leading luxury watch platform. What that means is we help retailers, consumers, and watch brands market their inventory online without building the online infrastructure to do so into 130 markets. And we do this in a seamless way for the consumer. So how the business model looks essentially is we help the supplier attach the inventory to our system. The customer buys the item, pays us, we pick up the watch, we authenticate the item, gift wrap it, and ship it to the consumer. And if the consumer doesn't return it within 14 days, the reseller gets their money minus our commission. And as you can see, we control all aspects of the process. So we control all information flow, all data flow, and every product is actually touched by us. And the most critical thing about the business model is that the watch world is notorious for a lot of fakes, for a lot of counterfeits. So we actually authenticate every single item out in-house. So we do the pre-sale service, telephones, live chat, etc. We do the after-sale service, we do the logistics, we do the payment, and do the authentication, and all of that is in-house. One of the things that is notoriously difficult in the watch industry is actually pricing. Which price, especially for pre-owned products, converts online in the fastest way and in a way that is working capital efficient. So what we've done over the past 5 years is we dedicated a lot of energy and invested a lot of time into technology and data aggregation to actually build a price database that allows our retailers and our watch brands to have the optimal knowledge how to price their inventory with us. So, the watch industry in a nutshell. Why is this market so exciting? When people think about watches, they usually think about a collector's item of limited appeal. Apart from the fact that it's a relevant asset class for most owners of watches after their house, their car, and then their watch, actually it's a $100 billion annual industry, roughly 80% of which is new watches, 20 billion of which is pre-owned watches. But the most interesting aspect is you have somewhere between $500 and $900 billion of inventory sitting in vaults and on people's wrists that is not digital, that is not traded. And the market, in fact, is notoriously undigital. So it's somewhere between 1% to 2% online, and it's 80% wholesale. So a few interesting numbers about our business. First of all, we have a 7,000 euro average retail equivalent basket. So you're really playing in the e-commerce field of the really high basket size. Second of all, we have 31,000 products online, which means that you're super strong in the long tail. And one of the things that is extremely critical in the luxury industry, specifically in hard luxury, is the access to millennials. So 50% of our user base is actually what we classify as a millennial customer. And if you think about an item that is 7K average basket, then you will notice that's actually quite outstanding that you have such a young user base. So how do we do this? And how do you engage the millennial customer of the future to ensure that luxury watches remain a relevant product in the future? So our sole purpose as CHRONEXT is to make everything about watches great. Yeah? And what is great about watches today already? So the great thing about watches are obviously watches and the watch brands. And you also have a customer that is uniquely passionate, because if you're honest about it, nobody really needs a luxury watch. People buy it because it's their hobby, they're engaged in the item, they're interested in the item, they research a lot about the item. But if you think about the whole value proposition around owning and buying a timepiece, it's actually not that convenient today. So what we think about this is we say you need to make discovery easy, you need to make buying watches easy, selling watches easy, and servicing watches. And so what we think about the discovery process is you need to create a seamless interaction for the customer, especially in a millennial-friendly way that allows them to consume content, that gives them access to personalized, curated selections, and that creates a lot of personal recommendations, especially if you have 31,000 products in the long tail. Second of all, if you look at buying, today, if you walk into a watch boutique and you're as young as I am, you usually don't get a very good service. And even when you walk in and you get a good service, because they're nice to you, it is actually difficult to be as knowledgeable as a database if you have 30,000 products. So what we believe is you need to make a very fast and convenient way to purchase products with the information that you want, and you need to do this in a multi-touch aspect. So we currently have 7 pickup lounges in Europe, where you can buy the item online and pick up the item offline. And that creates a lot of trust. That means that you truly bridge the omni-channel, yeah? And most critically, you generate a customer interaction that leads to more loyalty. So we believe in being agnostic, whether it's online or offline, and with access to our experts who are truly knowledgeable about watches, with the help of data and technology at all times. Then servicing. If anybody here has ever serviced a luxury watch, it's a very painful process. It takes up to 6 months. In fact, I was just speaking to Marco, who said his watch is broken again. And it takes 6 months. You don't get any information. It is expensive. It is slow. You know, how do you make this convenient? We believe by having access to customer information, by being close to the customer, by managing their collection, we actually make it super easy, one click to service. So in a business where you have a very high basket, we see repeat rates of up to 20% because we actually own the customer and we make it super easy, and we don't do this transactional business that you typically have in the luxury industry where you just sell something and you don't really care about the product. And lastly, selling. With the rise of the luxury watch market online, brands and retailers have started to understand that certified pre-owned is a key avenue to future growth. It is a key avenue to reach new generations of customers with the rise of vintage products, of pre-owned products, etc. Making this easy to liquidate an item in a trustworthy way, in a way where you don't need to ship the item yourself, in a way where you don't need to take care of payment, etc., really generates the potential to open a completely new vertical and truly liquidate this 900 billion of stock that is out there. So, and the key thing about all of this is, it can only be done when you own all the infrastructure. Just having a platform without managing the product authenticity, without managing the pre-sale service, the after-sale service, the logistics, etc., will mean that you never truly have the customer lock-in. And so this is our view of the watch world. You need to manage all aspects of the transaction to truly offer the full spectrum. So buying, selling, service, and discovering. And by doing that, we help retailers and watch brands engage their customers in a new way, in a way that they previously weren't able to do, and in a very data-driven manner. So what's ahead for CHRONEXT? 3 things that are important for us in the next 12 to 24 months. We want to continue building the most dominant brand in the space, the brand that is trusted for consumers, a brand that is fun and the most easy and relaxing way to own, service, buy, and sell a timepiece. We're continuing to build the business out internationally. Currently, we're focused on the European Union, driving more and more focus towards Asia and the United States in the next 24 months, and more so with a real focus on certified pre-owned, in really helping customers liquidate their products faster, make pre-owned watches as good as new watches, and essentially drive down the barrier to owning a pre-owned timepiece by creating a trusted source of inventory where you know it's real, it's fun, and you have a partner that actually helps you manage this in the future. As a last quick thank you for listening to me today. It's Christmas soon, and it's always good to buy a luxury watch as a gift. You have a small discount code here, NOAH18 2018 for 150 euros off. Thank you very much.